In 2005, I just won the silver medal in Athens in the decathlon in 2004. And in 2005, I was reflecting on my experience and my journey up until that point. And I remembered something that happened to me when I was in 6th grade, which, you know, yeah, silver medal, there you go. It's kind of blocked out by Mallory's gigantic gold medal from this year, but but it's all right. I'm not bitter or anything, but, you know. No. So in 6th grade, I was always a decent athlete, a really good athlete. And so, as you can imagine, in school, the one A that I would always get on my report card was in PE. Right? I mean, that was like the one I could always count on. And trust me, my grades weren't great up until that point. And so I always knew I could count on getting an A in PE. And my teacher, Mr. Awa, I'll never forget him. And I actually have chatted with him since him finding out how he's changed my life. But I wasn't doing the work and the things that he was asking me to do, and I thought I would still be able to get an A as long as I just did the sports part of it, as long as I was just a really good athlete. And what I found out is that's not how the world works. He failed me in PE. And tell me about it. Who gets failed in PE? It's exactly my mom's response when I came home with a report card.
Only the world's greatest athlete.
I know. So he fails me in PE, and I remember I was so upset. I mean, I was just distraught because I knew I was going to go home. The rest of my grades weren't good, and this one, event that I should have always gotten an A, and I find a way to screw that up too. And I was just so embarrassed and angry, and I didn't want to go home and tell my parents. And I remember my teacher, Mr. Awa, could tell what was going on, and he said, "Bryan, what's going on?" He said, "Meet me after school." So I came in after school, and he sat me down. And he said, "Talk to me. What's the problem?" And I'm like, "Oh, you don't understand. You failed me in PE. I'm going to go home. I'm going to get grounded. My mom's going to smack me around." Like, I was coming up with all these crazy things to try to make him feel really bad for me and switch the grade to an A. And that didn't work. And he sat there and he said, "Look, are you going to get grounded? Probably. Is this going to be a tough period in your life? Probably." But he said, "I need you to understand that sports, that athletics, is not everything in life." And that was such a powerful, powerful message and lesson that he was teaching me. And to this day, I've never forgot it. And so when I thought back on that, I thought, those are the types of lessons that kids need to learn more about. There's not enough teachers, there's not enough people that have the ability to go out and pour themselves out into a child's life and really help them stay on the right track and teach them some of these life lessons. And so when I remembered that, I was like, what better way for me to have an impact on the world than to be able to find ways and opportunities to do exactly that, to pour myself out into kids' lives and maybe just shed a little bit of wisdom on some of the struggles and the hard times and the things that they might be going through at the time, in the hopes that they'll remember that later in life and be successful and have true success in life.